Good morning, everybody. It's basically 4 in the morning today on March 15th. Today's going to be the long run. I'm planning to do between 35-40 minutes. I've been doing some research, looking up on YouTube to kind of see what would be the best balance between lifting and running. And for this next month or so, I'm gonna switch my leg lifting from, instead of like 3 times a week, switching it to 2, and 1 session focusing on heavy lifting, which I ended up doing a few days ago. And then today we're gonna do a plyo series. So we're gonna work on some box jumps, depth jumps, split jumps, and some iso holds at the end. So that's the plan right now. Gotta take my little GO2 Max energy drink. Get that flowing through my system. The only thing that sucks about this is that it does have full sugar, so it will be good for the run, but I can't drink these all the time, only for like workouts and stuff. So we're gonna get that started. I'll kind of talk a little bit of what I'm gonna be planning for this year, see what races I want to do, and kind of figure out what's the big plan. So I'll catch you guys in a few seconds. Okay, first exercise we're going to do is 3 sets of 5 box jumps with about maybe minute and a half break. So let's get after it. Not too bad. Leg's a little bit rusty this morning, but we'll get it moving. So there's a couple races that I've been looking at for this year, and I think the target race that I want to do is the GR Trail race over at Robinette's. It's a 5K race, 9K race, and 18K race. I think I'm going to try to do the 9K trail race there. Apparently there's a lot of elevation change, and that's something new that I'm not used to. So that'll be very interesting to try out. One of the main reasons I ended up want to do that race is that, one, it's an odd distance race. Never done a 9K before. I've did 8Ks in college, but never 9K. 2, it's trails. So the main thing I don't want to do is try to compare times of the past. So with those 2 different variabilities, it'll just be the goal to try to just finish. So that's kind of the main thing I wanted to do that race. Just because it's out of the ordinary, it's unique. And that's kind of the niche I want to go into in my second part of my running career, kind of doing those types of races. It's not far from my house, so that's really cool. And I think it would be exciting to do something way different than I'm used to. All right, got my break in. Here's the next one. Oh yeah, second time felt way easier. The legs just needed to wake up. I don't know, after I ended up doing this variation of like sissy squats where you kind of have it like this, have a weight behind you, and then you kind of go down and then up. Right here on my right side of my leg, oh, it got so tender and tight. Not sure why, but woo. I've done these before, but I don't know, these last 2 weeks of me doing it, it's really got this part of my quad tender and tight. So I've been trying to roll it out with one of the rollers I got at home, but whew, it's very tender to the touch. So now that I kind of have my race that I want to do, I do want to do like a training race or something to kind of gauge where I'm at. I was thinking of maybe, there's a local park run over by Riverside Park. I've seen the route for it. It's pretty simple. It's really flat. It's an out and back through Riverside Park. Winning times range from like as low as 17 to as high as like 21, 23 minutes. So competition won't be too crazy, but I think it would be a good introductory race because it'll be flat. I can kind of use whatever time I get there to kind of see what paces I need to be hitting for workouts. Ooh, all right, time for the last one. Time flies when you're having fun. Nice. All right, next thing we're gonna do is depth jumps. So I'm gonna need to switch this over into something else. I don't think 24 inches is such a good idea, at least right now. All right, give me a moment to get things situated. Alrighty, so for these depth jumps, same thing as before, 5 sets of 3 with about 1.5 minute, 2-minute break. So yeah, that's kind of the big thing. Wanted to use the Riverside race to kind of gauge where I'm at, use it for figuring out what paces I should be doing for some of my workouts. Just the other day, I did my first official workout. Just did a fartlek over at Briggs. 1 minute on, 1 minute off. Did that. Felt pretty good. It was really windy that day. Phew. I felt like I was going really, really slow. But after looking at the chorus data, I was actually, my paces for those 1 minutes that I were on was a lot better than I thought. But I'll let you know what they were after I get done with this. Not too bad. So for the first, so total was 5. The first minute, I went about low 6:02 pace. And then the wind really picked up on this portion of the 1 minute on, which I ended up going like 6:23 pace. Same thing happened on the third rep, about 6:23 pace, because that wind was killer. Right on the back stretch, right when I was trying to really get things going, the wind just picked up. I actually got to a point where I was running basically in place just because of how crazy the wind was. The last 2 actually were a lot better. I think it was low 6:0s. And then for my final 1 minute, I actually got to go like 5:55, 5:58 pace, which was really sweet. The whole time I felt like I was struggling and I felt like I wasn't going fast at all, but looking at the paces did make things a little bit easier looking back at it. So thank goodness for the data, or else I would have just assumed I was going like 7 flat, 7:30 pace, but it's good to know that I actually was doing some type of work. Whew, all right. Let's get the next one started. Shoot, I forgot. I'll do one more. All right. Nice. So I'm thinking next workout will probably be Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, it just depends, because usually with how crazy work can be on Monday and working with my kid, trying to take care of him, that usually is pretty hectic, so Mondays are usually off. Not sure if Tuesday would be the best bet doing a workout now that I say it out loud, but we'll see. We'll figure it out. I was thinking of doing like some small hill sprints. There's a small little hill place over by the city middle high area. Used to use that hill back when I was running at that high school. So there's like different stages that you could do. There's like a 8 to 10 second sprint. You can go to 20, 30, all the way to like a minute 10. So it's like a long one that you could use. I'll probably do that, weather dependent and stuff like that. If not, I'll probably do like a incline trail. Incline treadmill workout. It's really early in the morning. Do a couple sessions like that, maybe the same thing like the fartlek, but more at a slower pace, maybe like 7:30, 8 flat pace. Do that for like a minute or so for 10 reps, kind of just to get the legs used to more of an incline feel. I'm going to need that for the trail race, so I have to kind of switch up the way that I'm doing my training for those types of races. All right, let's get started on the last one. Nice. So that's kind of the overall plan. Get myself ready for that Grand Rapids Trail Race, which will be in June, late June. Probably get the Riverside one on a Saturday, probably a month from now, just to get some training under my belt, and then adjust training according to that. Things that I'll probably be doing, at least now until the first like trial race 5K over at Riverside, is one, I need to increase my hydration because my hydration is trash right now. My hydration is energy drinks and Diet Coke and sodas and all that good stuff. So I got to really work on that. 2, caffeine. My caffeine's been extremely high compared to what an average Joe Schmo should be. So I usually average 300 to 400 mgs a day. So not sure if my heart wants to take all that and trying to run. I've always had issues trying to balance the energy drinks and running. So now that I want to be more serious, I got to be more conscious of what I am doing and putting into my body. So I think those are the 2 big things when it comes to my body personally. The hydration and managing my caffeine intake. I think if I could do those things, that will be very beneficial. Very good, very good. And then I ended up signing up to be sponsored by the Harder Than Last Time supplement brand. I actually got through. I'm going to end up using one of their products called GO2 Max. It's really good. I used it a couple years ago when I was training. I also ended up using like their Turk Builder. It was pretty good. I was actually able to get one of my highest deadlifts with 3 plates. I'll put a video of it right here so you can see that it was true. That's one of the only times I could ever deadlift that heavy, is when I was doing the GO2 Max and the Turk Builder. But I was thinking for this build towards that trail, I'll call it GO2 Maxxing to the trail 9K. I'll figure out a better title, but I definitely want to call it GO2 Maxxing. So I know this whole looks maxing thing has been going crazy online, so I thought I'd do a wordplay on GO2 Max and all that good stuff. So, all right, the next thing we're gonna do is, I believe, split squat hops. I gotta check my notes, but that's the next one. Whew. Yes, split squat jumps will be the next thing. So there'll be 5, is it 5 sets of 5 or 5 sets of 3? Crap, I gotta look now. Well, 5 sets of 3. Yeah, let's do that. With a 2-minute break. Alrighty, boys. Gains don't happen on their own. Hopefully my quad doesn't go too crazy on this. Nice. Not too bad. Not too bad. Ooh. That felt pretty good. Last time I did these, right here was not working with me, but right now I think after rolling out and taking some pain meds last night before I slept, did really help out. So hopefully the run will be a lot better. Try to figure out where I want to do my run. If I can get this done sooner than I think, maybe go over to the Aquinas area. Maybe. It is pretty dark, so I know over there's a decent amount of lighting, but we'll see. I think it would be cool to kind of just reminisce going over there. So yeah, that's kind of the big things going on now. Things with post-knee surgery has been pretty good. Shoot, what's today's day? 15th or 14th? Oh man, 5 more days before it's been a whole year since my knee surgery. Wow, what a time. Yeah, that's been a journey. I know once I was able to kind of move around, I got myself all the way to 208 weight-wise. That was tough. Looking at the old videos that I posted up on here, I was a little chunky monkey. Not saying that there's anything different now, but I'm 175 now, so there's a big difference between 208 and 175. All right, let's get the next one started. Nice. Yeah, that was tough. Not being able to move like that was not good. And ever since I moved to my house with my wife, I've been at basically 200 pounds since, 5 years? So I've gotten to points where I got to like 190, maybe 180 at one point, but it was never long term. Maybe about 80% of the time at 200 pounds. Maybe 8% at 180, 8% at 190, and then the last percent at the 200 something because of the post-surgery stuff. Oh man, that was tough. Would not recommend, but to get my knee better to where I'm at now, worth it, but it is true. It is so much harder to get into shape than stay in shape. So for all the people around my age in my 30s, don't lose your fitness, man. It's tough to get back into it because you're always comparing yourself to your past, like in your early 20s, and that's just torture. We shouldn't do that to ourselves. All right, here comes the last one. I'll check my notes just to make sure. All right, let me check notes. Actually, I was wrong. It's 5 sets of 5. So we got 2 more of these bad boys. I think with these ones, I'm going to add a small weight just to get a little bit more oomph. Give me a moment. Maybe I will add, let's do 12 and a half. That should be fine. Not too crazy. Just to get a little bit more ground and pound. Yeah, that'll be the thing. Yeah, we're about at 4:24. Need to get back home by 6 so the wife can also get her workout in. So right now I have about an hour and a half-ish cushion. There's other things I wanted to do. This plyo session was a lot quicker than I thought because after this, there's some step-ups that we're going to do and then some isometric holds, and then we'll be done. I think I might add some other things just to kind of add some more blood flowing through the legs, and then we'll head to the run. All right, let's get this one started. Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Now we're cooking with fish grease, as they say. Oh crap. I'm gonna have to redo some of these workouts for some of my shorts films. I've been doing long form right now, so I've been going crazy on the shorts. Luckily, CapCut helps out a lot with that. Get some good templates. Just got to get a lot of good running film, get some good B-roll, but it's almost been 3 weeks of constantly posting. Been doing about maybe 2 or 3 reels a day. I also have one on TikTok. I'll put the link somewhere around here. Yeah. Slowly been going from like the 300 to 400s. I have had a couple posts go to like the thousands for views at least. My retention on those are not the best. I'm like in the 30s and 40s, but it's not bad. I'm just putting things out there. Finally got like 19 subscribers, so I'm like up by a lot since I first started. So the shorts definitely have gotten me a little bit more of an audience. I think the goal will be, let's see, maybe end of April, try to get 100. That would be sweet. That would be very sweet. But that's going to be a lot of shorts. Oh boy. But luckily, I'll be able to get some running stuff in. So I also have my brother, Anime Hero Gaming. He has his own YouTube channel right here. His channel is really sweet. I love watching him play. Anytime he's live or posting anything, it's like I'm back at home when we were at our parents, just watching him play games. All right, let's get the next one. Last one, and then we'll go to the step ups. Oh yeah. Boom. Let me get situated. I'm back. I had to look at the video to make sure that I was going to do these box step-ups right. So apparently these will be very good, very, very, very good when it comes to trail running. So let's get after it. I'll see how this range feels. I might end up going to the bench over there for the height, but not bad. Yeah, I think I'm going to switch to the bench just for a little bit more, and I think I'll isolate it more. So instead of kind of stepping up with it, I'll go here and really focus on just isolating the leg. I think I'll get more bang for my buck that way. Oh, man. Yeah. I forget, I ended up going to one of the gas stations yesterday when I was working. One of the people seemed sick. I feel like they transferred it over to me. I worked so hard to try to not be sick again because I had some horrible congestion for like a month and some change, maybe 5-6 weeks. I always was coughing crap up when I was running. Now that I thought I was out the woods, here I am, back again. Oh well, what can you do? Hopefully all the sickness will go away once the weather finally turns over to the warming area. That'd be great. All right, time's up for this. All right, back to the grind. Oh. 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 Oh yeah, that definitely felt more isolated on that. Oh. Oh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely felt that way better. Yeah, we'll definitely do it that way. The guy in the video did it more like a back and forth, but I think this will be way better. Way better, more focus on activating the quad, not using the momentum to kind of go up and down. So, alrighty. Main thing. So we got this. We got one more rep of that. And then got some isometric holds. I think there was one where split hold like this for 30 seconds on each side. And then I think like a calf hold. Same thing, 3 sets of 30 seconds. I've actually done the split version and holding. That's a lot harder than it looks. With the knee program that I did, it was about like a minute or so hold. That could only last about 30 seconds. So luckily, doing this version at 30 seconds, I'll be able to manage, but man, my legs were shaking when I was doing it the other way. All right, last one. Let's keep it going. Nice. All right, that's good. One thing I do want to note is that one of the big issues that I had with the knee, the reason I got surgery, was that anytime I got past this point, pain, lost power. I know it's not at 100% because there'd be times where, like after like a hard lift session or even after a longer run than I'm used to, I could definitely feel some aches and pains, but after a while it kind of just goes away. So it's just more of one of those things where I gotta manage my volume and not go too crazy, making sure I keep everything nice and strong. I'll also link the video that I'm referencing for this this workout block, the heavy lifting for legs, and then the plyo-ish sessions for the second half. So kind of rule of thumb that I'm going to go with is on my speed days, faster days, I'm going to do heavier leg lifting. And then when I do longer runs, I'll do the plyometric stuff to kind of keep things going. I'm going to kind of figure out what my body reacts to best. I could just do all speed stuff on one day and then more of the heavier long runs on the other, but I do want to keep them stacked together. I remember back in college I used to do all leg stuff on the same day and it felt fine, but we'll see what this body feels like doing. That's kind of the thing you got to get used to, is after doing a training one way for so long, being off, and then trying to go back into it, you kind of see how different the body usually reacts, or how differently it reacts with your new responsibilities, stressors, and all that good stuff. I know I could do a lot of crap back in the day, but now it's a lot different. More things to think about. And it's a cool little journey to kind of go through to try to get to where I was, and figuring out what things are going to work for me now instead of in the past. So I personally love that. It's a cool challenge. I know some other people would probably get really frustrated on it. All right. Now we're going to do the iso holds for 30 seconds each side. This is going to be so boring, for you guys at least, but for me, it's going to be pain train station. Oh yeah, definitely better this next time around. But this side, oh boy, I don't know. These are definitely my least favorite, but they're probably the best ones for me. So I need to work on not being so afraid of doing the ones that piss me off. Oh, fudge. Oh, that other leg was tough. All right, 2 more of those. ISO hold for the calves. And then we're Gucci. 440-ish now. Oh man. I'll let you guys know how things go. All right, just finished up. The last ISO holds for the for the lunges. That was pretty tough. And then the calf one wasn't that bad actually. I preferred that one. I kind of went between slowly going up and down for those 30 seconds, and then for the last set, I just worked on holding it the whole time there, which was pretty good. And then I got a little bit of B-roll for the shorts that'll come out later this week. We're 2 minutes till 5, so just enough time to start doing the long run, get that going, and I'll see how the legs feel after doing all that plyo stuff. Hopefully it gives a little bit more pep and step. So all done now. Gonna do a long run. Hopefully things go good. I'll probably discuss that later. I don't know if it'll be in this video, next video. We shall see. Hopefully when I get back, I can either sleep and get like an extra hour and a half of sleep, or I can edit the video and finally put a video up since, January? I should probably do that. We'll see. We'll see if the kid will actually sleep. If he sleeps, I'll edit the video. If he doesn't sleep, well, you'll know. All right, let me get these shoes on, head out for the run, probably catch more B-roll out there. I need to get a lot of running B-roll. And that's a little update from your boy. Working on getting a good training block started for a goal race. Adding new leg lifting procedures to accommodate the running to the lifting. Heavy lifting with plyos to keep the legs in good shape. Trying to work with the sponsor, HTLT. Harder than last time. Coach Greg Doucette. Use code Alvarado for 15% off. GO2 Max. Hopefully I can get the series called GO2 Maxxing to trail race. I'll figure out the name. I'll think of something creative. But for now, that's it for the moment, unless later on I talk about the race. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll keep you posted. Take care, guys.